Hi there, my name's Andy Hillier, and in this guitar lesson I'm going to teach you a fingerstyle blues. I've done a full playthrough of it, so if you want to hear what that sounds like, I've done a separate video. Go and check that out. I'll leave a link in the description and hopefully put a card above. Go and have a listen to it, and I'm going to teach you that in this lesson. But just before I do, if you wouldn't mind subscribing to my channel, which is Andy Hillier, give me a like on the video. That helps me hopefully get some more views, and the more comments the better. Just say hi if you want to say hi. Let me know what you think of the lesson, and let me know what songs I should do next. And if you love what I'm doing, you want to support me, support the channel, and you want the tabs for this and loads of other songs, then you can support me on my Patreon page. I'll leave a link to that in the description. My guitar is in standard tuning. Okay, the first line sounds like this. You may notice that I actually started when I do the cover version actually at the end of the song, but you'll see that at the end. So this is where the 12 bar basically starts. Right, so we've got open E string with G1 and the B string. So I'm using my thumb to hit the top string and then using two fingers to hit the G and the B strings. So all at the same time, E, G1 and the B string. Then we're going to have another E on its own, and I'm slightly palm muting the E string off all the way through. Okay, so we then play G2 and B2 at the same time, then the low E string, and then B3 and G4, back to the E string, and then G2 and B2, and then quick jump back to the G1 and the open B string. So the first bar really slowly goes. Okay, and that's going to hold on into the next bar, that G1 and the B string. So we've got... Then there's two E strings in the beginning of bar 2. So we've got... And then we're doing the same kind of idea, so it goes back to the G2 and the B2, then the low E string, the B3 and the G4, the E string, and then the G2 and the B2 to finish off bar 2. So bar 2 on its own goes. So bars 1 and 2 together, you got this. And bars 3 and 4 are exactly the same as bars 1 and 2. So the whole of the first line slowly goes. Sounds quite nice at that speed, but I play it a bit quicker and it sounds like this. On to the next line, and we've got this. So to play that, it's based around the A or A7 chord. Open A string with the D2 and the B2. So I'm using my thumb. I like to use my index finger and then my ring finger on the right hand to play those two strings, and then the thumb. So A string with D2 and B2, then open A string, and then B3 and D4 at the same time, then open A string, and then D5 and B5 at the same time. So you got another A string, back to the B3 and the D4, and then jump back to the D2 and B2. So bar 5 slowly. Then there's an open A string in bar 6. And then you could do the bar 5 twice, or put bar 5 into bar 6. But I've decided to put a little lead line in there and goes like this. So I play the A string and then E3 nearest to the floor, then E, B3, open B, G2, then open G, then G1. So bar 6. And then bars 7 and 8 are basically what we played in the first line. So the E twice, then G2 and B2, E, G4 and B3, open E, then G2 and B2, then G1 and B string. So we've done that already. And then bar 8 we've played again before, open E twice, G2 and B2, E, B3, G4, E, and then G2 and B2. So that's already played. Bars 7 and 8 go. So let's play the whole of that line slowly. Here we go. 3, 4. Bit faster. 3, 4. And then on to the last line, we've got this. So for that, we're going to be playing like a B7 chord in bar 9. Put your little finger E2, miss a string and put your third finger on G2, then miss a string and put your second finger on A2. And we play the A2, and then we're going to play the G2, the B string open, and the E2. So bottom 3 strings. So I use 3 fingers for that. So we play the A2, and then we're going to do 3 hits on that. And then we'll play the A2 with the G2, the B, and the E2 at the same time. And then just the bottom 3 strings. So you don't have to move any fingers on that bar. So you got this. Into bar 10 we've got. So for that, open A string. I'm putting my first finger flat probably across the G2 and the B2, then holding down E3 as well. But you could use 3 different fingers, absolutely fine. So you play the A string with D2, G2 and B3 at the same time. Then the bottom 3 strings at the same time. And then E2 with B2 and G2 and the open A string. I probably would use 3 different fingers there because the next hit I'm going to take the finger off the E string and play the open E with the B2 and G2. So I might go. Hopefully that makes sense really slowly. And then open E with B and G1, which jumps into the next bar. So then open E, and then the classic little rundown, which is your first finger on B3, second finger on G4, and you play both those strings, then the open E string, back to those 2 strings again. So go. And then move down 1 fret to fret B2 and G3, and you do the same right hand. Then you move down 1 more fret to B1 and G2 and do the same. So you get. Then into bar 12 we play the open B string with G1. A little run up to the note B, which is on A2. So you play A, A1 and then A2. So, and then just hit a B7 chord at the end there. B7 is your little finger E2, third finger on G2, second finger A2, and first finger on D1. So just 1 hit on that. Okay, so let's try the whole of that line. We've got this. And that's the whole 12 bars, and that can just keep repeating round. So let's try and play the whole 12 bars nice and slowly. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's the whole 12 bar blues. Well, I do hope you've enjoyed that little guitar lesson and found it useful. If you have, if you wouldn't mind subscribing to my channel, which is Andy Hillier, give me a like on the video, press the notifications, leave me some comments in the comment section. I do read every comment, so please just say hi if you want to say hi. Let me know where in the world you're from. I find it really interesting because I'm just making these videos from my home and people are watching them all around the world, which I think is crazy. So let me know where you come from. And if you love what I'm doing, you want to support me, support the channel, and you want the tabs for this, then I'll put them on my Patreon page. I'll leave a link to that in the description. Well, thanks for watching this. I do really appreciate it. I've been Andy Hillier, and I'll see you next time.